Happy New Year, Flosstube. My name is Laura, and this is Stitching by the Shore, my channel all about cross stitch with a little bit of paper crafting thrown in too. If you are new, I'd like to say welcome. Welcome in 2024. I hope you like what you see. I'd love to know what you're stitching, and I hope you hang around and we can all talk stitching together. And if you're a returning stitching friend, thank you so much for being here as we jump into this new year. I can't believe it's 2024, but I'm excited for the new possibilities of the new year, and we'll see what happens. For all of my fourth wing friends, you will see the dragon back and forth as I am talking. It does have something on the back, but I am not going to stand up and turn around. So, but it's a lot of fun being able to kind of talk about dragons too. So if you want to talk dragons with me, I'm around. Alrighty. We have lots to talk about today, and I am super excited. I wanted to address a couple questions about ornaments that were on the tree behind me in my Flossmas videos. And I didn't do an ornament Flossmas video this year because I had done one last year and I hadn't really gotten that many new ones. So I think next year for Flossmas, and hopefully with my 55 full finishes this year, I will get some ornaments finished. And so there'll be a lot more new ones and we can talk about all of the different ornaments on the tree. But I didn't want to leave you hanging for the year. So I was asked a few times about the ornament with the snowman and the cardinal. Now, there are actually two snowmen with cardinal ornaments I have on, and I have my little book here to remind me what it is. And I didn't know which one you were talking about. I think they were both visible in the videos, so I just wanted to give you the information on each of them in case you were wondering. So this one is Winterful Friends, and it is from Silver Creek Studios. And this one I stitched incomplete. This is the size. It's super cute. I mean, this is on 18 count. And then the other one, I just got to get the information because I did take a part of it. This one is called, where is it? This is Merry Christmas from Cherry Hill Stitchery, but it did say Merry Christmas on the bottom, and it might have said some other stuff, but as you can see, I ended up making it an ornament, and it's a good size ornament, even though it's on 18 count, so, but you could have, you know, I wanted this, originally I was thinking, you know, whether or not I'd put it out, and I actually could leave it out all winter and just do this. And maybe I'll do that on my shelves, actually. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Maybe some of my ornaments that can be kind of winterish, I can use them off of the tree for the rest of the season. So I didn't want Merry Christmas on there, but that is an option. So those are the two that were snowmen and cardinals, and I just was not sure which one. So hopefully that helps. And if you have any more questions, let me know and I will try to answer as best I can. So I'm going to put those, I don't want to put them near my tea. So I'll put them there and I'll put this book right here. Alrighty, so let's get going. I'm back to my regular place. I always get asked periodically if you're new. These are DMC drawers and they are Iris 64 drawer carts. Or I'm not sure what they're called. 64 drawer units, I guess. I got mine on Amazon. I believe I got them with a coupon or a sale, so they're a little cheaper, but I've seen them on Overstock. I've seen them on, where else have I seen them? A whole bunch of places. They're the Iris carts or the Iris drawers. So, and I do have enough that I have one drawer for each DMC, but you could certainly kind of, if you didn't have the space for that, because I know, I mean, this was a corner of the room I didn't know what to do with, so this fit perfectly. But if you didn't have a space for that, you could double up, triple up, do families or something in a drawer, and you wouldn't need so many. I do believe you can hang them, but I didn't do any of that. I just have them sitting there. Okay, so that's that. I want to say a very big thank you if you watched my whip parade. And if you haven't, it is the very last Flossmas video. Or no, I just named it a Flosstube Extra. So on January 1st, I put out my whip parade. So if you'd like to see all 75 open projects, that's where it is. And of those 75, of my loose goals, and you know, I kept my goals fairly manageable. I have 19 projected finishes from those that I would like to do. And maybe something else happens. excuse me, but hopefully those 19 do. So if you want to see that video, just back up a video and it is right there and you can see everything that I've got going. And then the very last thing before we talk stitching of my projects, I do want to remind you, and this would be my Flossmas video number 1 in early December. I talked about our winter artist trading card swap, our ATC swap. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, go back to that video. If you're interested in participating in the swap, the theme is winter and the deadline is February 1st for mailing. So you still have plenty of time to stitch the piece and finish it before you have to mail it off to me. But please watch that video. It gives you all the details and so on and so forth. So that's there for you. All right, that's enough of all of that. Let's get to stitching. I have 2 finishes, and one of those stitched finishes I fully finished, and then I have 1 new start. So lots to talk about. Now, this is I finished stitching it, and then by necessity, I had to fully finish it. So this was called Holiday Cat, and it was from LaSelva Designs. And I'm pretty sure they have one without the hat. So if you just wanted a cute little cat without the hat, you could do that as well. And then have it as an ornament that could hang, or a little piece or a pillow or something that could be around all year round. If not, I'm sure you could request and they could do that for you. Now, that is what that cat looks like, and it is adorable. I was making this for Megan and Liz for Christmas, and it would have been really nice if, oh, where are my pictures? I need to go out for that. It would have been really nice if their cat that they adopted this year was all black. But their cat is Zelkie, and if you've ever been down in Rehoboth, you'll know what Zelkie's is. And I don't know why that became the name, but this is Zelkie right here. So this is the cat that they adopted a couple months ago. And so I thought it'd be really fun to take that ornament or that pattern and make an ornament with Zelkie. Now, of course, that meant I had to rechart a little bit. And I have to say, I wouldn't have, because I knew I wanted to get this done and I didn't have a plan B. I almost threw this out the window. But I am happy with the final result. So there we go. There's Zelkie. And that is my Christmas ornament for Megan. So I had to rechart all of the white, and as you could tell from the picture, Zelkie does not have white on both sides of her nose and face. She only has it on one. So I did that, and then she's got black. But then I was like, well, there's no nose. So I tried to add a little gray, which is in the original, kind of for the nose. And then once I added the whiskers, which I did 3 times, trying to figure out what was the center of her face, then she looked super cute. I did finish it as a round, as I'm throwing it all over the place. There are a couple of fudgy parts here. I am a paper crafter, have been, oh boy. I started paper crafting probably in the mid-90s. So I go back to my roots when it comes to finishing. I've tried lacing in the back and all that, and it just doesn't work. So I use glue and tape and all of that fun stuff. And in true fashion with how this ornament was giving me grief, it was giving me grief. So there are a few couple edges there that aren't as smooth. And I said that to Mo, and Mo's like, stop it. She's going to love it. And as soon as she saw it, she did. She saw Zelkie at it, and she was amazed how much it looked like her cat. So she was super thrilled with that. Other than that, I finished it with 2 layers of scalloped edged circles that are felt. And I ended up, now it's easier doing this with paper than it is with felt because I can attach better. I tried to stagger the scallops so one would fill in the hole of the other. I didn't completely succeed, but it looks kind of cute that way. And I just sandwiched, this is just red and black twine that I mixed together. It's baker's twine, and I just wrapped the 2 together as the little wrap to match it. So that's the final, and that was, so Connor got the plant and Megan got the cat. Now this is going to get harder and harder to figure out, like, different things potentially that have meaning, but we'll see what happens. I gave that to Megan, and then I said, you can't take it yet. I have to show it on my video. So that is my full finish, and that is full finish number 1 out of 55 for my 55 and 55. So if you are new here, I am attempting to fully finish 55 projects for my 55th year, which is when I turned 55 this year. I turned 55 in October, but I'm giving myself the whole year. Alrighty, my next finish. You're probably not surprised. This was also very close to a finish. This is Autumn Quaker by Jardin Prive. I don't even need to show it to you, but I will. And this is the full. Oh, I have been watching. I am so far behind. I don't know about the rest of you, but I am so far behind on videos right now. And I'm kind of watching them all over the place. There's no rhyme or reason how I'm pressing play. And who was I watching that just started stitching this and they're going to stitch it as a whole? That's going to be my refrain all day. You can stitch all 4 of them as one. And oh, it looked so good so far. They have the bottom of one started and the bottom of a second one. If it comes to me, I'll say it. But there's somebody that I watched this week that is stitching this. If it's you, please let me know so that I can give you proper credit. Alrighty, so this was the last. I stitched them all separately. This is the last of the 4. Yay! This is 18 count soft peach from To Dye For Fabrics. Please remember that To Dye For Fabrics is not dyeing in 2024 fabrics. So, and I've got that as a note in my description box below. So anytime I show you those fabrics, as of right now, you cannot get them. I don't know if she'll come back. So what did I do? I did add, this was charted to say 2022 because I believe all of them came out that year. And of the 4, one of them has the date, or 2 of them have the date. 2 of the middle ones, I think. So you would have it, if you stitched it as one full piece, the 2 middle pieces would have dates. So I did the other one as 2022 because I started the 4 of them. And I essentially finished this in 2023. I think I was 2-3 days into the new year. I wasn't changing that at that point. I stitched it as that because that's really what the whole series was done. And honestly, I'm never going to remember 10 years from now. And anybody looking at these who doesn't watch my floss tubes would never ever know. So this one, I don't have the interfacing. I don't know if I have the interfacing on any of them. All 4 of them will be scrapbooked in a little collection, matching collection within the scrapbook. So I'm super excited. I actually have my iron out still. So maybe I will grab my interfacing at some point and at least get that on, because all of my scrapbook pieces do get interfaced. Oh, I don't even have to put that back because it is done. So I'll just put that right like that. I don't know if I'll get to, I haven't done, except by necessity for Megan's piece, I haven't fully finished or haven't gotten out my stuff yet. But maybe I'll go through if I'm interfacing and find a bunch of stuff that might need it. That might be a weekend job. All right, so now, generally my projects are not in any order when I show you. It's pretty much whatever I like to do or see. There are a few cases where I am doing that. So my 2 finishes I did put together this time around because I was excited about them both. And then this one is my New Year, New Start. And then we'll kind of, I'll tell you as I go. There's a few others that are kind of in a specific reason why they're there. So this is Fish and Chips from Long Dog Samplers. Now, I want to write down, and I don't know if I'll remember everybody. So please, if you are stitching this as well, please let me know, and I would love to add you to the list. Besides myself, I know for a fact Amy from Renewing Stitches is stitching this. I will link her floss tube down below and you can check it out. I'm almost sure Amy showed it in her second video, so you can see what hers looks like. Megan, Georgia Girl Stitching, is stitching this. Excuse me. I know Amy picked white fabric and went blue. I don't know what Megan, I can't remember what Megan did. I know she told me, and I can't remember. I think she showed it in her plans video what she was going with. And then Sally and Angie from the August, let me write down Sally and Angie's name so I know I linked them. August 1823 Stitchers, they just put out a video, and I have not gotten a chance to watch it yet because it's just came out yesterday, I think. So I am so far behind that I have not gotten to theirs yet. But I know Angie had told me that I believe both her and Sally are stitching it. So you can also check out, I'm curious to see, I know Angie, I think, went with a blue fabric. I don't know what Sally did, so I have to watch and see. All right, I'm just gonna hold it like this because this is all I have. Now, I don't have a lot of info for the fabric. Isn't this pretty? That's gorgeous. I was talking about going with the opal, and it was a little bit deeper and kind of that blue water. And what I did actually, I don't think I have it here. No, I stitched the top line on here and on the opal. And I got really concerned. I remember Debbie made a comment in one of my comments, and Debbie, you were really, really insightful with this. And she said that she wasn't sure that the opal, it would work with the opal. And when I stitched it, I got really worried. I think it'd be pretty, but I think I got really worried that the opal would be distracting because there's a lot going on here, right? So I had Debbie's comment in my mind as I was looking at them, and I felt like, you know what, I think she was right. So I did go with this one. Now this one here, this is from Dying for Cross Stitch. So let me show you. That's Kathy. And if you follow her Facebook group, what she does for Fabric of the Month is she just dyes a color, and then you have that month to buy it. You do not have to be part of something, and you just pick and choose as you want and you buy it. And I believe she discounts it that month. And I think this month she also has some ice dyed fabric. I don't know if she'll re-dye it or if she just what she dyed for the pictures is what it is available. And then she has all sorts of just custom stuff to do. But on Black Friday, she did a different little sets. And on Black Friday, she did a fabric pack of blues and greens. And that's all this says. It does not have a specific color. Oh, and I wanted to show you because somebody had asked. Oops, I just knocked the ornaments over. Somebody had asked me about this. I am stitching it with Floss, and this is DMC Floss. I don't think that name will pop up there. And it is just blanc, so it's just the white. And it is, I know nothing about it except for the fact that it's thicker, so I only use one strand on the 18 count. And it's giving nice coverage with just the one strand on the 18. Generally for me on 18 count, I do stitch 2 strands because I like the fuller coverage. So that's what I've got. You're going to see this probably quite a bit this month because I'm using it for categories. I think I'm using it for the Crafts and Books acrostic. Oh, and I'm definitely using it for the Late Night Stitchers January challenge. So I have lots of different challenges I'm working this one for. So I will give it time. This will go into my rotation with Summer Quaker, Spring Quaker, and Black Vintage Sampler. And so that, especially once January ends, then I will give each one a week and then rotate to the next one so that I can see what progress I get on this. For a long dog, it's not huge. It's 187 by 212. So I thought I'd start a little bit more manageable, see what I think, see if I like it, and then go from there. I enjoyed this little bit I've done. I love monochromatic. I am a big fan of monochromatic. And so I'm really looking forward to stitching this one. So that's that. So that is my new year, new start. So let me put that one back. I'm going to put my giveaway bowl over here so I can put these over here and do this. Alrighty, next. I need to show you a picture on my iPad for this next one. We'll put Zelke away and go back to my, nope, that's not what I want. Alrighty, so where is this picture? Is this part of, let me just see for 1 second here. If this was part of, yes, I think this was part of Bringo. So these next several pieces I stitched as prompts for Bringo. So for the first 25 days, there is prompts that we were given. There are prompts that we were given. And we had to choose projects for that, kind of like Whip Go from Jessie Marie. And it is from the Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge. So the first prompt was, it was a piece of my choice. And so I chose Winter Gnome because I do want to work on this during the season. And of the 3 gnomes, from Wonderstitch UA, excuse me. This is the one I chose. I'm not stitching the background. And put that down there. Let me show you what I have. That's what I have. So bringing it up close. Isn't this pretty? It's a very pretty opal. It's so funny because I have two opals going in this video, and I never know exactly when to do opals, use them. So it's kind of funny that I have two to this week to show you. This was done on an 18 count opal Hourglass Nebula from Fortnight Fabrics. So as you can see, with the gnomes, I choose a fabric that would be a nice background so I don't have to stitch that background. And that's where I am on this. So I think, you know, for the most part, what I'm really trying to do is to concentrate on the hat. I think, if I remember, I'm not 100% sure, and I'm not going to look at them every time I pull out a piece, but if you watched my parade, then you know that I gave each project kind of like a mini goal. And I kept all of them manageable for the most part because I have 75 projects, right? So if I gave myself these humongous goals, there's no way type of thing. So I kept them, you know, fairly manageable, and I'm not going to remember all of them off the top of my head, and I'm not going to be beholden to doing them and having to do that. That's just kind of like a fun little aside that I did. But I know I would like to try to get the hat done. I think I said hat and nose. So I have some work to do. But, you know, once you get going with the colors, I hope that that will go pretty fast. And the nose should be super easy. So that's Winter Gnome. So that was, I believe, day number 1 of Bringo. I will put the information, I'm going to write myself a note, for the magazine monthly challenge, cross stitch challenge. It is run by Carolyn C. Zook and Robin Hall. Both Carolyn and Robin have floss tubes. Oops, I'm putting this over here. And I believe both of them put out videos within the last couple weeks. Have I watched either one yet? No. I am so far behind. And then last night, Mo and I were like, let's watch a movie. So we watched a movie rather than me watching a floss tube. All right, so the next one that came up for prompt was a whip that intimidates me. Now, happy to say it no longer intimidates me, but I did not stitch on this one in 2023 because it intimidated me. And to look at the size of it, you would say, what? How is this intimidating? So this is Maryland Blue Crab. This is an Ardith Designs design, but I bought it as the full kit. So with the kit, she had dyed a small little piece of fabric. She had dyed silk. She had the pattern, and then she actually gave fabric. Is there anything else besides that? Fabric and like a little pin in the kit. Oh, she even gave a needle and everything. So that you could make it into, I believe, the pillow that's shown on the front. So that's what it looks like. I was intimidated by this, first off, because I did it with one strand, which I think is what she recommended. And I did not want to run out of the silk. So I was listening to her. And back then I had not really, I don't even know if I knew about the one strand loop start method. So I was probably just trying to keep the tail and do all that. Whereas the one strand loop start is faster for me, unless I have a long stretch, and I sometimes will still do the tail. The other thing was I wasn't making working copies yet. And I mean, look at this. There's a lot of counting and this and that. And I just got to the point where it was just overwhelming me between the one strand and the counting and everything else. So now the first thing I did was make a working copy before I worked on it today, or this week. And I used my loop method for one strand, and I got some progress. All I had was a little bit here. Oh, I might have had one of the legs over here, but I finished a bit more there. I went up, I did another leg. And for Bringo, they just say for you to be able to block off your square, it's 100 stitches. Or maybe, or an hour, I think. I don't remember if they do either one type of thing. So isn't that beautiful fabric that was dyed by Ardith Designs? This will show up again on my Bringo board because I also used it for smallest piece, because it probably is one of my smallest whips at the moment. I might have one that's the same size, but I can't remember. And I don't have any trading cards on the go yet. So I will, you will see this again this month. And I enjoyed stitching it this time. So I'm super excited about that. And I think my goal was to get this, either to get it as a finish or just say, I'm writing it off. I can't do it. And I have to say, I enjoyed it. I may not stitch all of it. I might just do the crab and maybe some of the fish around. I'm a little worried about using up all of my silk. So we'll see, because I don't know how well I use it. I'm used to using DMC, so I probably waste some thread that others of you may not do so. Okay, next. So the next one in Bringo was something number 9, was Sparkly. And so here's my other opal. This is my Wizard of Oz treat. I think you're also going to see this month because I'll use it for categories. Well, yeah. I think I'll use it for categories because it's the title of the design. And I don't think I have very many W titles. I mean, winter, obviously, I have things that are named winter, but if I want to use that word for the season, you can't use words twice. So here it is. And look, we've got some more at the bottom. This is done on an 18 count opal blue ice from To Die For Fabrics. I had a plan. I was going to do all the Brooks Books free ornaments, you know, the 25 days animal ones. And I keep pulling it for other things. So, and I bought like half a yard of it or whatever I bought. So I have some still, but I don't think it'll work for that anymore. And since I can't get any more, we'll have to come up with another plan. So here I am. This is a lollipop. I'm not doing any of the back stitching yet. You can see there's going to be 3 lollipops in the pattern. I did that. I did a little bit more of this little guy, but I really concentrated here. And we have 2 rows of the rainbow done there at the bottom. I think I want to do, I don't know if the lollipop is enough to give me the marker. What I've been doing for the leaves on this side, or the bottom here, for this side, is I've been using the leaves as markers, and then I know how far to bring this out. So I'll do this next leaf, probably next time I pick it up, be able to bring this across. So then, except for the back stitch in the first 3 rows, I'm done. These 2 are all I'd have then once the leaf is done. I do have leaves below that will have to get done, but then we're just concentrating here. So I am hoping for a 2024 finish on this one. That is really, I think it's doable, especially if I kind of use it for prompts and different things, you know, because I'm sure with acrostics and things like that, there's a lot of things on here that could show up with different letters. If you're intimidated by some of the games, one thing to remember, a lot of times, you know, so say I wanted to use this, and I could use this for something. In categories, there's a category that's like magical, mystical, whatever. And there's a witch, right? Well, there's 2 witches, actually. So I could use it for witch. I don't have to stitch on that part to fulfill the prompt. You usually, if you're not stitching on that part, sometimes they'll ask you to show your pattern, just to show that in the picture, in the before picture, that it is part of it, but you don't actually have to stitch on it. So I know a lot of people, for example, if you're doing like a stitching shelf from Amy Stewart, because you like to do full coverages, you could probably fill almost every prompt half the time with those stitches, because there's so much on there and you don't have to physically stitch on that part, that it makes life a little bit easier. Okay, next one, number 5, was It Will Be a Gift. This is too early in the year for me to think about what will be gifted to people. So I know I did this year. This is a gift to myself because I am changing this up to say Delaware, to, you know, kind of talk about the fact that we live in Delaware now. So I know last year, because I remember asking about the gift part last year in the comments, and people said you could do gift to yourself. So that's what I'm doing. This is called Signs Series Summer. I usually just call it Summer Signs, and is from Twin Peak Primitives. It is my snow stitch if we ever get snow this year. We'll see. We're getting rain, I think, for the next 2 events. So we'll see what happens. I'm fine without the snow, but I count a stray snowflake as snowing. And I am still, for the most part, up here up top. I really am enjoying this stitch though. It's a lot of blocks of color, so it makes it go by pretty quickly. So, not pretty. This is 18 count Carmel Macchiatto from Fabrics by Stephanie. And you're not going to be able to see too well right now. You can see fine in person. We have the little kind of fishing boots, galoshes, whatever you want to call, of the older person and the younger. And then we have some pants and whatever that little kind of part is at the end. And again, I purposely did that, although I think I already have the line of that done. I had messed up the word sun, so I had to pick that out a long time ago. But then here, this is just all going to be yellow. And so that'll be a nice little section to stitch. But the people, again, are blocky, so it's a lot of fun in the sense that you can pull something out and you can do a strand before you have to worry about changing colors. My goal is to try to get the first 2 rows on this one, so we'll see what happens. I don't think it's going to be because we've gotten a lot of snow. I mean, boy, if we got a lot... Oh, that's just a little fluff. I got a little worried there. I thought it was the same. If we got a lot of snow, I think I could easily fit my prompt or my goal for that one. But last year, I think we had a stray flake. I don't think we ever had any snow actually stay on the ground, which I think, from what I hear, is a little unusual. Sometimes we get a little bit down here. I mean, I'm still new to Delaware. I know in Connecticut, I think today they are full on getting snow. I think, do we have any Connecticut friends watching? Did you get snow? I'm pretty sure I saw that since we still have family there. I still look at the weather up there. Alrighty, so that was for my Bringo. I have not stitched today's call yet. In my plans, I'll show you that one. All right, so I am still working on this one. I did not get, where's my, come on, there we go. I didn't get very far because I kind of jumped on Bringo and all of the new kind of games. Oh, there it is. And this got kind of put in the back seat. I think I will stitch a little bit more this weekend and then I'll switch out full coverages. So this is, I call it Beach Girl in a Red Dress. It is from Simple Wave Studio, artwork Jennifer Camp. So that's what it looks like. You can never see, if I tilt it this way so you see, that's it. If I look at it this way, it all looks all washed out, but it's kind of a beige over there. I don't have all the colors pulled yet in of the girl and her hair, so this is why I haven't tackled the hair yet. I should, maybe I'll pull some this weekend and do a few pieces of confetti, and then I'll go over here. There's a huge chunk that's just all beige. So I did a little bit down here, but for the most part, I filled in here, and I started to fill in here. There was some spots here that had a few other colors, so I wanted to get those in, and this is a page break right here. So it doesn't look like much. I probably gave it about 300 stitches this week, but not as much as I was hoping. Before the new year, I worked on this a little bit on New Year's Eve, which I did kind of my own kind of whip frenzy, which is an event usually in Whip Warriors. I think I stitched on either 6 or 7 pieces on New Year's Eve, and I kind of gave them between 100 and 200 stitches. But for my counts for 2024, I wouldn't count what I stitched on that day because I have a very tiny goal on all of my full coverages, just to at least say I've touched them all. And then I'm sure there'll be more stitches in the year. This is done on an 18 count white Aida, 2 strands over 1 full cross, which is what all my full coverage are done as. So that will get a tiny bit more time. If I do the beige part only, I don't think I would show it to you again. If I can get some of her hair done, I might just show you one final time. We'll see. I don't know how much I'm going to get accomplished on that one moving forward. So we'll check it out. All right. Now you're just seeing things that, well, that full coverage was just a carryover. And then you're seeing things that I either picked up because I wanted to stitch on them during my Sunday, New Year's Eve. That was the event I did. I know a lot of you did 12 by 12 or variations of it. There's no way I can do a long stretch of stitching like that. So I just basically, I came and I went, starting from first thing in the morning till I think I kind of clocked out of stitching at 10 o'clock at night. And I think we were in bed by 10:30. So I just kind of picked and chose what I wanted to stitch. And that's how I kind of tackle New Year's. So whenever I have a choice and I want to put in a few stitches, 100 to 200 stitches, I do like to pull out this one. This is Librarian's House by Stone Street Stitch. I am stitching this with Beth, the Steadfast Stitcher, and we have a hashtag. It's hashtag librariansamplersal. So I'm going to put Beth's name down so I make sure I link her below. Here's mine. Beth and I are doing colors slightly different. I did change some of them. I think Beth is doing all called for, which is so pretty. I can't wait to see hers continue. Beth she put out 2 whip parades. One from her 60 and 60 from all her starts from last year, and that's the one that's the most recent. And then she put out one of all her other projects that weren't part of the 60 and 60. And I haven't gotten a chance to watch her 60 and 60 yet, but I want to refresh myself on what hers looks like because I know this was started last year by her. This is done, mine is done on an 18 count Darling David from Those Missing Stitches. Those Missing Stitches is a really lovely hand dyeing shop on Etsy. She also has a floss tube. So I'll link her down below as well. Now, I think this year she's doing her hand dyeing a little bit different because I went to her shop. It's open now. It had been closed for a little bit over Christmas. And she had a few new colors, a couple that I'm very intrigued by. And then what she did was she's got a quarterly, I don't know what she called it. I don't know if she called it a quarterly classic or something. Darling David is on there right now. So I don't know if that means it's only available for this next quarter. And then it'll kind of go away for a little bit. So if you are looking for a really nice neutral, I would definitely go check out her shop. And then she has a couple that are called classic something, I think. And I don't know if those are only for the month and she's going to rotate out colors. I don't remember. I would suggest you go over there if you're interested. I've only got an 18 count, but I love her Aida that she has been hand dyeing that I've gotten. So that's where I am. And you'll see I added some kind of denim blue in, and I think I want to make the house, I don't know if it's 931 or 930. I think it's, 930. I think I want to make the house that blue rather than the kind of the olive that it was called for. I'm a little stymied up here. I'm not sure what color I'm doing there. So there's been bits and pieces of this that, I don't know what I'm doing color-wise. It's for the most part 1-to-1, but not 100%. So when all else fails, I do hearts. And so I think I stitched this while I was Zooming on New Year's Eve, and I stitched the hearts. And but you know what I did? And I kind of like it better now. So let me show you. Let me fold this up to get a little bit closer. Yeah, that's it. So the original hearts look like this. And there's, kind of a 3 open spot between them. And then at the bottom, it's 1. Well, I wasn't paying attention and I stitched the heart like this. And I kind of like that. I think I'm going to go back and add stitches to all of them. Hers is really pretty. And if I hadn't done it any other way, I don't know. I'll think about it because they are really pretty that way. Or maybe I just keep, that's the one. Maybe I keep that one as is because that's the one the bird is sitting on. There is a couple of places in the border. She's got runaway birds, she called them, because you can see how the birds are here mainly in the middle. So she had a runaway bird over here, and then she's got one farther down here. Maybe, okay, I can salvage this. Maybe what I'll do for the runaway birds, because the one on the other side is also sitting on a heart, I will do the hearts differently. And then the others, that's maybe what I'll do. Because then otherwise I have to pull out one heart or I have to change all the others. So thank you. I just talked my way through that while I was talking to you. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that'd be fun because the birds were kind of like not expected on the border anyway. So then if I change the hearts a little bit, that would just make it completely unexpected. All right, next. Next I worked on, and this is a good one too if I want to get like 100 stitches or something, 100 to 200 stitches, because you grab a color and you can go, right? So I am stitching this one, this side. I do have both of them. Whoops. This one is called Twisted Rainbow Sampler, I believe. I don't remember the exact names of the two of them. It is by Northern Expressions Needle Art. I did buy them as a pair. I bought them as both cross stitch. You can do them full crosses with cross stitch, or you can do them that with addition of specialty stitches. And you can buy them singly if there's one that really doesn't, like, you know, you're not really excited about, but one you are. I decided I would really like to do both of them. It'll take a while, right? I started with the darker one, and that's where I am. So I am completely done with 2 colors. I didn't start this, obviously, because this was a restart. I wanted to stitch all of the top colors to make sure I was okay with my color choice. This is 18 count Raven Black from To Die For Fabrics. And I think I like it much better than my other choice. Thank you all who had, you know, discussed that with me in the comments. You were right. That one was a little too blue, that gray. So, but for the moment, I am doing one stretch as I go. I don't know if I'll keep that, obviously, once the bands get longer, or if I jump around. I do like kind of the monochromatic nature of it. I'm going to do this for now because that's all I worked on. This butterfly was completely done. I finished all of that line, and I finished all of that line. So I do have that kind of salmony color halfway through this next motify type of band. So that's what it looks like. If you would like to see the other version stitched, the lighter version stitched, and I'm going to write down Jamie's name. Jamie Cross Stitch and Chill just put out a Whip Parade, and she last year completed the lighter version, and she did it with the specialty stitches along with the cross stitches. She's also currently, she showed that she started the darker version. That one she's doing cross stitch only. So if you would, it's beautiful, the full finished one that she's done. So if you'd like to see the finish of that and to see her start of this one, I will link her channel below, and you can see what she's got going for stitches. Alrighty, 2 more. This one, I'm pretty sure I use this for the Crafts and Books acrostic. The word is hibernate, so there's lots of letters and lots of choices. And for Beth's acrostic, Crafts and Books is Beth the Steadfast Stitcher's Facebook group, if you're unaware. They do lots of Zooms, and now she started with acrostic games and so on and so forth. I'm not sure what I will do. I know a couple of people asked about some of the games I do. I might try to do something in my Facebook group. I know we've done color challenges, and hopefully I'll be able to do some more of those this year. But I don't want to necessarily do, you know, I love Whip Frenzy, but that's Whip Warriors, and I don't want to, you know, copy them necessarily. So I have to think of some fun things that we might do that would be low pressure, and you can try it out in my Facebook group. We'll see. Keep an eye out if you're interested in trying something, or if you just like the games. This one is Harvest Star Tea, and it's designed by Michelle Palmer and charted by So Much to Love. There's a set of 5 of these. As you can see, this is number 3 of 5. And if you want to see some other stitches of these, Kathy, Crafty Cat Stitcher. Kathy is the one that showed these originally, and I immediately went to Etsy. and she's doing different than this, so you can see some different ones if you'd like to see them stitched up. Isn't this pretty? So I have got, you know, a little bit more of the pumpkin to do. I think I started this in October for my pumpkin birthday stitch along. And then we just have the cup, and this one will be done. So this is a 2024 goal to get a finish. This is 18 count Ocean Air from Fox and Rabbit. I do have 2 of them. And so my goal at the moment, I think, is to do a 2. I might do them as a complete collection on 1 page on a scrapbook. Or if I do the smaller scrapbook, there'll be a 2-page layout. I'm not sure yet on that one. All right, and finally, this piece right here was the piece that was in my, I guess I'm going to do every 4th week rotation. It was every 3rd, now it's every 4th. It's Spring Quaker from Leela's Studio. I love stitching on this one. I have so much fun on it. I really like Quakers. The more I stitch them, I really like them. I love the starts and finishes of them. I like the nature of them in the sense that a lot of times they're just one color, monochromatic. You can just get your floss and go. I did change a majority of the colors in this one, or a lot of the colors. to kind of go with the more spring vibe. So I changed the fabric, I changed the browns. I'm going to change the rabbits. And I'm not sure. As I get to stuff, I may end up changing it. Oh, I changed the words too. I think the words are charted in black, and that's where I put the brown instead. Oh, I love this fabric. So this is 18 count rose hips from Under the Sea Fabrics. And I just thought it would be such a pretty spring color. And I originally did say I was going to still do the brown because pink and brown are a great color combination. But I just wasn't feeling it. I had picked all of my browns because I was, I think this design is charted with some variegated flosses. I think summer is all DMCs. I don't know what the new autumn one is charted with. So I was doing the DMCs, and I don't know if I changed it up a little bit even, and I just wasn't feeling it. So I went with greens instead, kind of to symbolize the, you know, the growth and new birth of spring, when everything starts bursting with nice, beautiful green colors. So that's where I am right now. That is the bottom. So see how that Quaker ends right there. There is a bunny right here. But again, I have to decide on the changes of colors on that. And I think, I did. I finished this element. I was kind of in between pages, so I just said, Laura, do it. So I did it, and I came over here up top too. I try to, every time I pull these out for their week, I try to give them a minimum of 500 stitches. And this one did get that minimum. So I did accomplish my goal, that weekly goal. All right, I'm running out of spots and this is gonna fall, so I'll put that there. So that is what I've stitched on in this past week. So what are my plans? So number 19 was called for Bringo for today. So that's the only one I know going forward with Bringo. Let me show you my Bringo board. I will do a, I would like to do a planner kind of Flosstube extra sort of thing. And I've got my two planners, one for my games and stitch-alongs and all of that, and then one for my regular, you know, for my daily stitching and the like. So I'll show you those to you. But as you can see, I've done the first four and I have filled them in with colored pencil in order, you know, kind of color them in. So there's an intense satisfaction with coloring them in. So the prompt was, and this one was a little tricky for me, inspired by how it was finished. I mean, there's most of the time the finishes, I generally don't do a lot of the similar types of finishes, but what I interpret that to be was what the finish was in regards to, I used the called for fabric. I'm using all of the called for colors. I'll fully finish it, probably, well, I might ornament this or I might scrapbook it. I don't know. I don't have as many bigger Halloween things, so this might get done as an ornament in the end. But it's Nobody is Home. It's a pattern from this year's Halloween Just Cross Stitch magazine. Stitch Sprout is the designer. And I, like I said, when I saw it, my stitched finish will be exactly as they've seen it. Same colors floss, same color fabric. So I thought that matches the prompt. So this will get my stitches today. That'll probably be the first thing I stitch on, because that's what I've been trying to do with Bringo, is just do those first stitches right there. And then from there, I can pick and choose, you know, whether it's my full coverage or if I'm doing one of the other games and so on and so forth. But Bringo categories, the Crafts and Books acrostic, and then the Late Night Stitchers January challenge is 750 stitches. Whether it's on one piece or multiple is really up to you. I might try to do all 750 on Fish and Ships just to kind of get it a nice little start for January and then kind of put it into the rotation. So we'll see whether or not that works. That is one of the games that you need. It has a code word and you have to have the pictures for start and finish with the code word. So I'd have to make a decision near the end of the month if I'm going to put something else in, because I have to make sure the code word is in the picture. So we'll see. But those are what's guiding my plans a bit in January right now, which is fun because it gives me some things, like Bringo tells me something to stitch, but then all of the other prompts I can pick and choose. So that's really nice because then it gives me a lot of leeway, because I'm a stitch what you want when you want kind of stitcher. Alrighty, let's see, shopping, that's what I have. I only have one piece. I almost bought, there's on Etsy, there's 3 right now, and then 2 of them are on sale. There's 3 patterns that I've been looking at that I've been kind of tempted to press buy, and I forget, to be honest with you. They're there in my favorites list, so every time I kind of open up Etsy and see what's new, they're there. So one of these times I might just press buy and I'll show them to you. But I got the Fabric of the Month color. This must be December. I think it's December. From Bestitch Me. So if you do not want to see it, I am in the color not neutral club. I'm not going to say the name either because that kind of gives it. I'll show you the little tag. So look away if you do not want to see and be spoiled from Bestitch Me. I love spoilers, but I know a lot of people don't. Okay, I'm showing it. So let me show you the name first. So that's what it is. And then look at this beautiful color. Isn't that beautiful? It's really, really pretty. I wonder if she'll make this part of her regular line. It'd be nice if she, or maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know all. Bestitch Me has a lot of colors now. So I don't know all of her colors in her regular fabric line. It's down if you want to look back. But if it's not in her regular line, it would be a beautiful addition. So we'll see if she does that. All right, so that's it for shopping. That makes my videos kind of end a little quicker because I don't have a ton of shopping to show you. One of these days, you know, I'll get back to buying all sorts of stuff. Alrighty, so this week's giveaway, I showed you the French Country Snowman from JW Designs. It's called, oh, that's what it's called, but it says In the Meadow. So in my mind, I'm calling it In the Meadow. It's a cute, adorable little snowman made up of all little different kind of elements. It's adorable. So I asked you to say the word meadow. And I put your name in the bowl. And at some point, if I'd like to do multiple, like for example, I'm getting close to 5,000 subscribers, and I think I would do multiple giveaways. I need to figure out a comment picker. I've never tried those, and I know some of them they charge you for. I think just the regular one, they charge you if you want to do a code word. So I don't know if any of you use them. I don't necessarily want to pay for something like that. I would love to know what you use. Because, you know, I want to do something special when we have some special things. And maybe some weeks I just add more than one giveaway. I've got stuff here, so it's time to start sharing it with all of you. All right, enough talking, right? You know, like, Laura, pick a name. All righty, so my name is, and I always like to have it against something. I'll put it against my little journal here. Carolyn Pantzer. I can't even read my own writing sometimes. Congratulations, Carolyn. If you could get back to me with your address, I will send that out to you. I have not. I have a bunch of giveaways to do. I wasn't going anywhere near the post office. I don't know. Megan's here and Connor's here for just 1 more week. So I don't know if I'll get to the post office. It might not be till mid-January. But I have all of your names and all of your stuff here. So it'll just come as a surprise. But Carolyn, if you could get back to me within the next 2 weeks, I will kind of wrap up your stuff. And that way I know it's all set and ready to go when I do make my run to the post office. All right, this week, I have a bunch of Stitching with the Housewives that I want to start, you know, kind of sharing with all of you. They're older ones, so this is good, especially if you're starting to just jump into stitching and you like some of their older patterns. This one is called Hello Winter. And that's what it looks like. It's never been stitched, so it's brand new. And I'll keep it in the package for you. Sometimes I take them out, but sometimes I won't. As traditional, it's charted with Classic Colorworks, right? And then, of course, the DMC alternatives. I myself think this would be really cool if you just stitched Hello Winter and you put snowflakes around it. If you were a pillow maker with a doughbowl, I think that would be adorable. Because I do like a lot of her cursive patterns. I don't know if and then I would probably stitch, the snowman would be really cute on their own as well. And that could be a nice little, whether it's like a winter ornament or a little, you know, taller pillow. I suppose if you did it big enough, you might, I don't know what the size of it is. It could be like a little stand-up. Now, as usual, there is a chicken in the pattern, so I'm going to ask you to say the word chicken. I try to find words that you might not normally say in the video for other reasons. And I'm pretty sure there's no other reason you'd say the word chicken this week's comments. So we're going for that. So if you'd like me to put your name for now in the bowl until I figure out how to do the other kind of choosing, then say the word chicken. But yeah, lots of possibilities with this one. You could even do, like, you know, see that little cat there? Do you know the teeny tiny hoops? That might be adorable in one of those teeny tiny hoops as well too. That's the one thing with a lot of these patterns. You can pick out so much stuff and stitch it in a myriad of ways, including the full piece. But if you also want a bunch of other ways to stitch it, there are some options there. So that's this week's giveaway. You know what? I'm going to leave that right there. So that's the stitching. So if that's all you're here for, then thank you so very much for being here. I hope your first week of 2024 has been going well, and I wish you well, and I'll see you next time. All right, so life stuff. Obviously, last time I saw you, we were coming up on New Year's, and what did we do? Well, we went out to dinner Saturday night, Mo, myself, and Connor, because Connor was here, Megan was not. Obviously Megan now lives on her own, so it's more of a, you know, when she can come and see us kind of thing, because, you know, she's out in the world adulting now. We were originally going to go out to dinner, like an early dinner on New Year's Eve, and then I said to Mo, I don't know, you know, I mean, it could be very busy, even early, and sometimes you don't know with restaurants, right? They do that fixed menus kind of thing, and we didn't want that. So we said, well, let's go Saturday night instead. Maybe it'll be a little bit better. So we did. When we got there, the restaurant had maybe like one other booth, because we got there, well, not super early, but 5:30. I mean, we're early dinner eaters. If I could eat at 5 o'clock at night, I would, because that's when I like to, and have everything done and finished in several hours before I have to go to bed, right? So we got there about 5:30 in the end, and then people just kept coming and coming. By the time we left, the restaurant was full. So everybody else had the same idea as us. But we had a really nice meal. It was delicious. I am able to get vegan options at this restaurant, so it's really nice because I can go, and both Mo and Connor are vegetarians, but they have a little bit more options open to them. But it was nice for me to still be able to pick and choose and not have to say, well, can I have this, but take this out. They actually have specific ones that are labeled vegan. So it was nice. So that was really fun. It was really actually a nice, a little brisk, but we did a little walk because the lights are down. The restaurant was right downtown by the beach. And so the lights are still up and so on and so forth. So it was pretty. So we kind of parked on the other end. And so we did like a little loop by the beach. Didn't go onto the beach at all, but we were on the boardwalk for a little bit. So that was fun. And then New Year's Eve, I did some zooming in spurts. I jumped on Stitching with Sandy's Zoom for New Year's Eve, and had a wonderful time. Sandy, you know what? I'm going to link Sandy's floss tube too. Sandy has a wonderful floss tube. She's doing a variation of, I don't know if it's 24 and 24 with ornaments, Christmas ornaments. So it's really cool. If you want to see her last video, I think she kind of lays it all out and talks about it. So she was stitching on those and changing every hour on New Year's. So that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I went on, and then I went off, and, you know, we did dinner and spent some time with Mo and Connor a little bit, and then I jumped back on. And then, like I said, I think I tapped out at 10 out of the Zooms Eastern time, and was asleep by midnight. I'm not sure. I know Connor made it to midnight because, you know, Connor's 20 years old, and at 20 years old, I feel like everybody's up at midnight. But Mo and I think by 11 had said, that's it, good night. And we called it a day. So it was fun. And then New Year's Day was the last day of Mo's vacation. He had taken off between Christmas and New Year's. We didn't do a lot, but, you know, it's also kind of a rejuvenation and kind of chill out sort of thing. And so he's back at work. And then Megan came down last night because she was not here for Christmas. So she is here today through the weekend and going back to Philly Monday. So that's super exciting. I get a chance to spend some time with her for a little bit and do kind of a belated Christmas thing. We'll go out to dinner one night and just kind of, we said, what do we make that you wouldn't make? And, you know, like what meals would be fun and all that. So that's my weekend. I have no idea what will happen. I don't know if it's supposed to rain this weekend, so it might be kind of a stay in sort of thing more than go out and about. It's cold. It's very cold. We hit, well, with the wind chill, I think we hit to 20 this morning. I didn't go out. But I originally I said, oh, I'm going to film in a heavier sweatshirt and everything else because this is just, a long sleeve, but it's lighter. And then, my normal internal heater kicked in, shall we say. And I was kind of like, nope, I can't wear the sweatshirt. The most I can do is a long sleeve shirt. I have some fun sweatshirts, and I have a Fourth Wing sweatshirt, a nice hoodie that is so comfortable. And unless I go out, I can't wear it in the house because it just gets too warm. So, it is the way it is. But yeah, so Meg's home, and then Connor's home for one more week. Classes start the day after Martin Luther King. And I want to say Martin Luther King weekend is a week from Monday. So can you believe it? We'll already be halfway through January once Connor is back at school. And then, kind of just settle into the winter kind of thing. You know what I mean? So that's it. Nothing super exciting going on. That's about it. That's all I have. So we're coming in. These videos are getting a little shorter. I'm not sure I would go below an hour, but that's okay, right? I always seem to have lots of stuff I want to talk to you about. But I have got a lot of people I'm going to link because, if you don't have enough to watch already, and I don't know, maybe you're watching all of them, but you may discover some fun new people if you aren't. There's going to be a lot of fun, different people to discover going forward. I'm looking at my notes, and I'm going to actually kind of just block off the long list of floss tubers and then just use the other part of the paper for next week's video. I can't think of any exciting stitching plans. We're just kind of going along and seeing what we do. So we'll see what happens next week. I hope you're well. I hope you're safe. I know there's a lot of kind of gookies going around of all varieties. And so I want to say, I hope you're taking care of yourself and feeling okay, because I keep seeing people not feeling well. So I'm hoping you're doing all right. And I know it's tough this time of year because we're inside and we're cold. Well, at least in our area of the country. Other places or world are not so much. But I hope you're taking care of yourself. And remember to get your stitching in. Remember that you and your mental health, what makes something that makes you feel good every day is super, super important. So do something for yourself, please, please, every single day. I get the whole putting yourself last and doing everything for everybody else, because I did that for a long, long time. And, then you look back and you say, boy, I wish I could have just carved some time out for myself. But, we live and we learn. And now I definitely make a point, no matter what, of doing something for myself, and hopefully a couple things for myself each and every day that is just for me and makes me feel good. So I hope you get a chance to do that as well. It's super important, and you are important. So please take care of yourself. Okay, until next time, happy stitching.